I'm Suzanne McNeill, and I'm back. I got back from the Certified Zentangle Teachers Retreat up in Rolling Ridge Retreat Center in Massachusetts. It was so beautiful, and my friends wanted me to share their tips and tricks for Zentangle with you.
Hi, I'm Melissa Hoops, and I'm from StampPassion.com, and I am just going to show you how to tangle within a rubber stamp. So what we're going to do is use a stamp, and rather than a string, we're going to go ahead and have the stamp be our string. So I've inked this up. This is a poppy stamp. I'm just going to stamp it down on my cardstock. As you can see, this is a well-loved stamp. Lots of ink all over it. Here we go. So what I'd like to do is show you a variation on the tangle finery. So we're just going to take and draw a pretty line right through the center of each petal. I'll just show you a couple just for the sake of this. And that's number 5 micron. I'm going to switch to a smaller one. This is an 01 micron. And I'm just going to make, using sort of the same motion, a kind of a backwards S, I'm going to just separate each of these little petals that I've created and do the same thing on the other side. And then with finery, you actually take and put a little mark in the center. So I'm going to do that like this. And I'm going to fill it in so it looks like the stamen in the center of this rubber stamp. Just a real quick little one right in the center of each of these segments. And then to just end it, you just want to put a little dot, just like this, off the end of this little, what shall we call this, Suzanne? Almost looks like a little stamen inside of each segment.
They're little petal creases, I think.
Okay, petal creases, that's what we'll call it.
All those details make it so beautiful.
They do, and I don't know what it is about dotting, but I love to dot. So there's the center. Oh, I should finish this. There's just one of the petals done. Simple and easy, and so fun. And then this is one of a card that I finished, and this one is actually colored with Prismacolor pencils. And I put the Tangle Poke leaf on the side, so that's all hand drawn. And then some just little swirls on the side, just to fancy it up a little bit.
Hi, I'm Sandy Steve Bartholomew, and I'm going to show you how to draw a pattern that's called Ocean. And it's based off of crescent moon. So the basic idea is to do the crescent moon, just the little arches. And this is a little bit more complicated at the top. Do the little curly tendrils. And the same on the other side. And then you go back and put some auras on the inside. And you can stack them up, like I've got over here, where you just continue adding one on top of the other, like that. And then draw the same little tendrils off the top. So you end up with kind of like a scale effect. And in my children's book that just came out, you can see an example of them stacked up. And here is a good example in the bag over here of using them in a border.
Hi, I'm Susan Smith, and I just discovered ink tints watercolor pencils and I'm loving them, and it's great because I can add color to my tangles and do some watercolor too, which I didn't even know I could do until I came to this particular event. So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to first take, in this case, a stencil. Sometimes I do freehand drawing, but I'm going to take a stencil and I'm going to trace it as you would any stencil. And then, after I have the tracing done, I'm going to take my Inktense pencils, and I'll show you in just a minute how to do this. There's my little stencil. And the second step is to actually take the pencil, the color that I particularly want. In this case, I'm going to use red. All right, and what I have to do is I have to, using these Inktense pencils, these are watercolor pencils. Okay, I'm going to add my color as I choose to. All right, I'm going to do red in one area. All right, I'm going to do green in yet another area so that I get some green on the leaves. Then I'm going to use brown for the stem. This is how I'm going to be adding the color. All right, in addition to the color, all right, on the bottom part where my flower pot is, I'm going to actually do just black with my Tangle pen. I'm going to first outline it so that it doesn't lose its shape. And inside the flower pot itself, I'm going to do the tangle, as you'll see in just a minute. I'm also going to just blacken in this circle, which is just a little added decoration. All right, I'm ready to actually put the watercolor onto my stencil drawing, and I'm going to add the color just a little bit at a time, very lightly with the watercolor brush. That's what this is called, the water brush. You can see that I'm just switching to a different color, the green now. And then the last part is going to be the brown. Okay, I don't have to wait for it to dry I have to wait for it to dry for just a few minutes, all right, but in the meantime what I can do is I can tangle my pot in whatever way I choose to. I'm choosing to do a relatively easy pattern for this YouTube because I think it will be just quicker and easier for people to see how it can be done. This happens to be the Night Bridge pattern, and I may even add a variation to it. So Night Bridge really just looks like a checkerboard. Sometimes it's with straight lines, sometimes it's with curved lines. In this case, I'm just doing the black and white checkers. I may, as I said, add a little bit of an elaboration once I finish filling in the checkerboard itself. Did it wrong. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of an elaboration just to add a little bit of fun in here. All right, and then I'm going to actually now add a tangle to the stencil itself because it only takes a few seconds to dry. All right, so when I'm doing this particular tangle, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be doing muka, which in this case is just basically following the shape of the heart. I'm going to do the same pattern in the leaves, but as you can see, what's happening is that I can add color now to my tangles, which is something that before I came to this particular event, I couldn't do at all. Here is my finished one. Just going to fill this in so that it can be seen better, and there it is. All right, if you take a look at some of the ones that I finished, these on this side are stencils that were done, all right, where I've added the color and the Zentangle. In this case, I have Zentangle throughout. The top one only has the flowers that are Zentangle. And then this is another one that I did using the Inktense pencils, all right, where I added the color. And again, the flower pots with the tangles, and the centers are also, as well as the leaves, tangled.
Hi, my name is Wendy. I'm from CZ class.
Yeah, start over again.
Hi,
Okay.
my name is Wendy. I'm from the CZ class number 3, and I'm here at the CZT retreat at Rolling Ridge. I'm going to share with you origami, which is a little different than some of the other tangles, although it comes from one of the 106. To start, you're just going to make a series of up and down lines. You want them sort of to be the same consistent size. They can be higher, lower. It is easy if they're sort of big enough. And you're going to sort of start off a little bit like the paradox. Then I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing going this way. What this piece reminds me of is when we used to fold our gum wrappers into funny shapes. And they can have different widths. And then I'm going to start from the other side. So that is it, and I'll show you it's a very easy one. You can make it thicker with more lines, thinner together. Here I used it as a border. Obviously the shading can really vary, but it's a fun one that can show a little bit of movement. I'm not sure curvy lines would work. When I went around the corner of this one, I did. It could be more of a tweed, but it's a very easy, simple tangle to share and a lot of fun.
Hi, I'm Jody, and I'm going to show you a fun tangle to do. And I got the idea from Sandy's Totally Tangle, Sandy Bartholomew's Totally Tangle. And it is a variation of the Falls and Zazzle and a couple of the other ones that she has there. First, I'm going to draw a big oval. It does not have to be perfect. And then I'm going to make some of these half circles or shells, and I'm going to put them at different sides, side to side. They can be different sizes. They can go in any direction you want them to go. Then after I do that, I make a smaller half circle, and I do fill that in. Yeah. And what I do is I put a little aura around it, and I put another little aura around it. And I came up a little bit higher, made a little bigger one. And then I decided to put some lines in between the auras. They don't have to be perfectly spaced. Then I decided to maybe put a little bit of little tiny circles or little beads. They look like little beads. And they're side by side. This is what it would look like as a finished product on this cross that I did.
Hi, my name is Jean Paglio, and today I would like to share a Zentanlge with you that I just came up with yesterday. So we called it Scrimple, and this is the section that we're going to see today. It is a matter of lines and circles and triangles, and
what we're going to do is we're going to start with a simple scroll-like line, and we're going to keep going, and every other one is going to have a curl at the end. And when you get a certain amount done, then you'll go back and you will fill them in. I have circles in these. You fill that all the way in, and your circles can be bigger, bigger, bigger as you go along, or you can make some smaller ones and fill it in that way. Bigger is not always better, but it is a lot of fun. So I fill that in like that, and then down here I come in with a triangle, and then I invert that triangle so that it is upside down. Fill that in and just continue on until you are not confused anymore. And if you happen to make one in the wrong direction, it's not a problem because there are no mistakes. So you can easily incorporate it into your drawing. Thank you very much for joining me today.
I'm Loretta Gordon from Gerald, Texas. I'd like to show you one of my favorite tangles that I've just recently kind of come across. It's called I See You, as in I, like you see with. And you start with a straight line. I'm using a 005 micron pen. After the straight line, you draw a half of a circle. Then you draw another half of a circle inside that one, which is the eye. And then you put the eyelashes on. And you can put as many eyelashes on as you would like. Then I change to a little bigger micron to fill in so it doesn't take so long. And so it depends on the size of the Zentangle that you're making as to how long it's going to take to fill in. And so that's how you make I See You. And here it is on the mandala that we're all creating. And then here it is on an ensemble that I have created. And I have put this particular Zentangle in each square. And some are large and some are small, and some connect to each other and some are off by themselves. And there you have it.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Hicks. I'm demoing on a black tile made by Zentangle. They also have black ATC cards, and it's so exciting, especially when you're using the Sakura gel metallic pen. It almost looks like foil. It's so beautiful. So very exciting. Had a lot of fun and a lot of positive reaction from people who've been looking at it here at this retreat. Okay. One of my favorites is Muka. It's a new pattern that Maria introduced lately. And it's a line. Line looks really good on the black. I like to finish mine off with a little flourish about like that in the middle. And if you have a blank spot, you can fill it up with little sections like that. You can add dots for flourishes that are really exciting. When you come in with another Muka beside it, you get really interesting things that start happening. Sometimes you can get butterflies, flowers, all sorts of things. And, okay.
Here's one of Charlotte's beautiful tiles. Check out all this beautiful gold look on the black tile. And here's some other work by Charlotte. Just beautiful black and white tiles. This beautiful texture. And here's one of her monoprint pieces. All Zentangle and then some color added. Loretta is busy recording some new tangles in her sketchbook. Always want to collect these, right?
Oh yes, oh yes.
And Jody is reading her new book that she got from Sandy Bartholomew, looking at all the new projects. Our show and tell table brings lots of wonderful ideas for everyone to share and tell other people what they've been doing, show new techniques, new ideas. Everyone's tangles are beautiful, but everyone's has their own signature or look to their tangles.